And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still, we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes. But don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. If you can hear me.
All right, I need to go, but I'm gonna try one more thing. I wanted to work this out, and I was reminded because you got a white girl. And no, I know he's good with it. That's why I had to feel him out first. You know what I mean? You do look like you got an I like white women outfit on, though. You got the Michael B. Jordan from Black Panther hair.
Oh, let me stop this for a minute. Oh, we fitting a roast tonight. We fitting a roast these misogynists tonight. Let me start this over. About to roast some misogynists tonight.
All right, I need to go, but I'm gonna try one more thing. I wanted to work this out. And I was reminded because you got a white girl. And no, I know he's good with it. That's why I had to feel him out first. You know what I mean? You do look like you got an I like white women outfit on, though. You got the Michael B. Jordan from Black Panther hair with the little fucking. You got glasses on so you don't look too dangerous. You got a nose piercing, let her know you're adventurous. I get it. But good for you, man. Love who you love, you know? It was very important for me to marry an Indian girl because I'm like, I know this is weird, but I'm like really like pro-Indian. Like I'm very proud to be, I'm like militant about being brown. And I know it's funny, I get it. But I just thought it would look weird if I wasn't with an Indian. You know what I mean? Because I had 2 roommates in college, it's true. They were like—
break it down for me right here. Break it down for me right here, my man.
Roommates in college, it's true. They were like the textbook militant black dudes who only dated white women. I swear, this is a real thing. He knows, dude in the back that's laughing, yeah. He knows him. And it just looked weird, man. They'd always walk around like, yo, fuck all these white folks. Right? It's a real sentence. He probably said it. Yeah, you do that shit? They do that exact shit, man. Fuck all these white folks. And then they would go, fuck all these white folks. And I thought, I thought a little weird. There's nothing wrong with it. It just looks a little odd. Optically, it just looked off, you know? I didn't want to do that. So it was important for me that my wife is brown. But I did start to see the appeal as I talked to them more and more. Like, I still got black friends that date white women. I'll try to like bond complaining about significant others. I'll be like, yo, man, don't you hate it when your fucking girl is yelling at you all day for no goddamn reason, just in a bad mood, taking it out on you? And they'll literally be like, I've had this exact sentence. No. Janine doesn't believe in conflict.
Janine.
Doesn't believe in conflict? Conflict is my girl's love language. I'm dead ass. If my girl went a week without nagging me for no reason, I'd be like, let me see your phone, bitch. Who the fuck are you nagging that's not me? Huh? Let me see. I'll burn this whole fucking house down. Don't think you can cheat nag on me, bitch, and get away with it. I got Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, we fit in the roast. We fit in the roast.
Man, that sentence, you start to understand things, man. Start looking at white women like iPhones. like, man, I might have to make that switch. Damn, they're just so user-friendly. You just gotta update them every once in a while and they give you no problems. I mean, yeah, sure, they're all starting to look the same, but whatever. Nope. I stuck with my Android. My non-compliant ass. High maintenance ass, always giving me problems ass.
That's right.
Can't even take this bitch on a plane without worrying she's gonna blow up in my arms ass brown girl. All right, I'm gonna get going. My name is Akash Singh. God bless.
Let's keep it going. We have Akash Singh, comedy. Let's keep it going.
Yo, I think that comments are quite possibly one of the most hilarious things in the world.
Up.
You niggas commit a lot of crimes and you know it. You are single mothers and you know it.
Are
Stop lying.
okay,
You went park your car in the hood and keep that door unlocked.
Now do a silly clown dance for us.
Because you know a nigga will take the damn car.
Real talk. Comments is one of the most hilarious things in the world.
You niggas commit a lot of crimes and you know it.
Now do a silly clown dance for us.
You are single mothers and you know it.
Are
Stop lying. You went park your car in the hood and keep that door unlocked.
Now do a silly clown dance for us.
Because you know a nigga will take the damn car.
I'm not gonna put you in a locker.
Because it really showcases a woman's true nature. I think that the internet is beautiful. And the reason that the internet is beautiful is because it actually showcases and exposes the nature of who people really are.
He's playing that Sambo role threat, and everybody want to see Sambo dance.
Now do a silly clown dance for us.
You want to know what's really wrong with the black community? Is that the woman is out of her purpose and she's not a helpmeet no more. She's the enemy.
Stop capping.
I'll give you an example.
Now do a silly clown dance for us.
Whenever you hold women accountable or whenever you say something that may go against the public perception or the traditional norms and you actually tell the truth and you call people out for what they are.
Stop capping.
And this has been happening since the beginning of time, at least.
He's playing that Sambo role.
She's more of an enemy than a white man ever has.
Stop capping.
He's playing that Sambo role threat, and everybody want to see Sambo dance.
We had to build the plane while we were trying to fly it at the same time.
Stop capping.
But a lot of people look at the successes, or they look at what they think.
He's playing that Sambo role.
She's more of an enemy than a white man ever has. Stop capping. She's more of an enemy than anybody in history has ever been to the Black community. Stop capping. Because she's the very person that comes in with deceit. Stop capping.
Now do a silly clown dance for us.
Looks to use you and then disperse of you when she's done with you.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Really, nigga?
And then she'll move on when it's all said and done, and then say, well, what about the kids? Fuck them kids and fuck that woman too.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I will say, across the board, Black women are the lowest.
What? What's going on?
What?
Stop capping.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Playing that Sambo role.
She's more of an enemy than the white man ever has. Stop capping. Throw that hoe out with the bathwater. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Start the fuck over. Get a whole new group of women, and then fix the community that way. What? What's going on?
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Y'all are going to jail.
I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us.
Mainly, how about you pay for our trip and we smash? Excuse me?
I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
So I get smashed and you make money and you get a trip? Come on now. You guys have no respect for me, no respect for yourself, actually.
He's playing that Sambo role, threatening everybody want to see Sambo dance.
Pathological lying. It's not considered a mental disorder. Instead, it's observed as a behavioral disturbance that's present inside of other disorders like antisocial.
We know about pathological liars. We hear them all day, every day, everywhere, and sometimes on Sundays.
Social personality disorder, and some brain disorders like Korsakoff syndrome, which is brain damage from alcohol. Pathological lying used to be called pseudologia fantastica. I like saying that. And it referred to people who told multiple outrageous lies.
We used to call pathological liars pseudologians.
That would border on the fantastic. And those were more than just simple lies. These would include elaborate details that seem questionably believable. And when you challenge the person on the details, they tell even more lies to make the story work. The motive behind the lying wasn't always clear. And sometimes it was just to impress people. Some people start to believe their lies and have trouble even knowing what the truth is. Believe it or not, for some people, it can become like ordinary talk. And they don't even see themselves as spinning a lot of lies. They just see it as talking, like storytelling. And what's wrong with storytelling?
Hear me out. I have a very controversial thought, and a lot of people gonna come for me, call me a pick me, like, okay, whatever. If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
What?
If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my God, I'll say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
We are going to begin this evening with a vicious attack that again raises questions about the criminal justice system.
If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
Just to make it clear, this woman was just walking to the bus station to get to work. That's all she was doing. But I guess the criminal thought she was out of pocket trying to mind her own business.
Because we know that we are covered by this societal norm that men shouldn't hit women, we feel as though we can provoke men. We can talk any kind of way. We can throw things at men. Look at Brittany Renner the other day, y'all. If this whole societal norm that men shouldn't hit women weren't around and Brittany had thrown that water on the guy and she knew the consequences of that would have been a nice solid brick or fist to the face, I bet she wouldn't do it.
6:14 now. New disturbing details emerging this morning in the deadly shooting of a woman who police say was killed by a former University of Alabama basketball player.
If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
Mother, DeCarla Cotton, a man approached her daughter and started flirting with her at the restaurant. Harris declined his advances, causing an altercation. Cotton says as her daughter and her boyfriend were leaving, a man shot multiple times into their vehicle. Harris's boyfriend fired back in defense. Authorities say Miles, along with the second suspect, are both charged with capital murder.
But we walk around protected so we can be unruly, we can be uncivilized. But if more men were supposed to say, you know what, forget that, fist for fist. If you hit me, expect this fist or brick.
Yep. Got Chantel.
Adiós. Vaya preso porque ahorita voy por Adiós.
Adiós. If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket. If more women were to be introduced to a brick to the face whenever they act out of pocket, less women will act out of pocket.
I'm so effing tired of the amount of emotional labor that comes with dating Black men. I am so tired of the lack of commitment, the lack of support, the lack of encouragement, the lack of money. Like, I don't know what to do from this point on, but I can tell you one thing. My interest in dating another Black man is like 1% at this point.
Not a lie at all, but let's see what the bandit side has to say. Right now, I'd like to welcome everybody who's cool in the chat, which is Miss RV, Prism, Camo, Tevin, everybody in the clouds. And I also want to make a special thanks and shout out to all the hypocrites, zombies, closet misogynists, bandits, creeps, stalkers, Jeremys, Ernestos, Hangs, everyone with their primitive Neanderthal talking points. Everyone who brings in a prison ideology with their gutter mouse. Closet white supremacists with black skin. And last but not least, ghetto goblins. We know who you are. You're the superstars. Here we go.
Wouldn't that show a lack of your self-worth? Has nothing to do with the men. It shows that you don't have any standards and that you accept anything. Trust me, there are no Black men sitting around crying based off of what you said. Black men are looking for women of high standards the same way Black women are.
But she just lied straight to our face. Black men are looking for women of high standards. I need to play this next clip. Where's it at? Here we go. Let me play this.
A man could be dead broke. But if he has a reputation for just being able to pull a lot of women, whatever, he's still looked at in high esteem in the community, in the Black community. And that's wrong. So whereas in other communities, like, you looked at in self-esteem by what you accomplish, how much money you bringing in, how many people you taking care of, how many people you employing. That's where the status comes from. But in our community, nigga just could be out here just hitting bad hoes, be dead broke, $5 in his pocket. He's still looked at as like a upstanding, solid dude. Yeah, man, that's a real one right there, man. He got them hoes. Straight up. So I think that speaks to the programming. We got to change that. We got to start speaking about marriages on these platforms, the right marriages. Let me reiterate.
Let me pause that. Notice here how he said our community. Notice how he said our community. Let me go back to the other one.
I'm so effing tired. Thing.
and that you accept anything, trust me, there are no black men sitting around crying based off of what you said.
What do you think the manosphere was built off of? Crying men, black. They made a whole market on it.
Black men are looking for women of high standards the same way black women are.
I can't believe she can keep a straight face.
We just need to find each other because this whining that you're doing.
Wait, we just need to find each other. Yeah, she actually said that. She actually said that. She doesn't know how to count because if you count the odds, well, you know what's up. Yeah, let me break this down here. Let me get down here. Let's dig right into it.
The world that exists right now is extremely competitive. The stigma on interracial marriage ain't nowhere what it was even 20 years ago. Non-black women are actively pursuing black men.
He's a good-looking man.
Hello, sir.
These other women are like, you don't want to compete? They got no problem competing. They got no problem smiling, fixing plates.
Yeah, right. If black men, if we had no problem competing, we wouldn't be, we just wouldn't. We wouldn't have the time to whine. We wouldn't have the time to have a black red pill or a black manosphere because we'd be doing good, right? I mean, you don't fix a pipe that don't leak, right? You don't fix a pipe that don't leak, right? Think about it.
Whatever. Is it easier to do what we're asking as men, or is it easier to live the rest of your life alone?
It's not.
I'm going to get to the point what these misogynists ask for. Let's get right into it. Here we go.
Joshua Jackson and Jody
Let me break this down before we get into the meat of the matter. Love Letters is in the house. Miss RV is in the house. Gwen Johnson is in the house. Prism is in the house. Kevin is in the house. Camo is in the house. Here we go.
Turner Smith were an interesting match from the start. And as their relationship progressed, the red flags started busting us upside the head. With the recent news that Jody has filed for divorce from the former Dawson's Creek actor, we can't even say we're surprised. This relationship appeared to be doomed from the start, honey. Before we jump into today's video, I don't want to wait to plug my snacks. That note higher than a giraffe's asshole.
What?
That note high as hell. So don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com. Our online
rrgsnacks.com. Get some snacks together. Get your wine ready. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
Scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com. Our online concession stand that has an assortment of barbecue brisket beef jerky, blue raspberry licorice, and toasted corn nuts. This story starts back in June 2018 when Joshua and Jody were at the same party. Jody was wearing a shirt with
2018 and it's 2023 now. Let's see where this goes.
The bold statement on it. And Joshua told Mr. Porter website he yelled across the room to make a comment about her shirt. He said it wasn't his smoothest move, but that's all it took for Jody to take notice. That was easy. Jody told W Magazine that Joshua's character Pacey on Dawson's Creek was her
Wait a
first.
minute. Didn't the ghetto goblins and hypocrites and zombies say that Caucasian men don't check for black women? He checked for her. He checked for her. I mean, he checked. He yelled all the way across the room. Rude, not cool. But let's see where this goes.
Crush. So she recognized him right away and said to herself, I want that. Go on, girl. She still wasn't too impressed by the way he hollered at her from across the room. But after he followed her around the party the entire time, Jody decided to end the night by riding his baloney pony off into the sunset. Because he had ended his 10-year relationship with Diane Kruger 2 years prior, Joshua wasn't ready.
Okay, let me make a point. He did not marry her. He did not marry Diane Kruger, who he dated for 10 years. Let's keep it going.
For anything serious, but he got caught up in the rapture of love. Sang RRG. He described their relationship as a whirlwind romance, and on Thanksgiving 2018, he told Jody he loved her for the very first time. During a New Year's Eve vacation in Nicaragua, they were walking on the beach when Jody asked Josh.
Okay, so in Nicaragua, so they went to some exotic spots. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it going. You know,
to marry her. Now say what now? More and more women in heterosexual relationships are actually bucking tradition by getting down on one knee to propose to their partners.
That I don't agree with, but hey, do you.
These women have lost their mind. However, this is something that is still extremely rare. According to an article by The Atlantic, among heterosexual couples, 97% of grooms reported they were the ones who did the proposing. When Jody surprised Joshua by asking him to be her groom, he was a bit taken aback.
Did you know that it was going to happen?
I did not know, but she was quite adamant and she was right. This is the best choice I ever made.
Okay. Pressuring someone to tie the knot rarely ends well, and if you're on the receiving end of someone's demand, well, that's not a good feeling either. According to allwomenstalk.com, both partners have to be 100% into the idea, because agreeing to get married for any other reason can cause resentment and an unhappy marriage. But either way, Joshua accepted the Queen and Slim star's proposal. Something still didn't feel quite right, though. So Joshua insisted that he be given the opportunity to ask Jody's biological father and her stepfather for her hand in marriage.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. Okay.
Right, Joshua. He also told her, I would like the opportunity to re-propose to you and do it the old-fashioned way, down on bended knee. No, that's right. When news broke that Jody...
He cleaned that up. He cleaned it up. Let's keep going.
Proposed to Joshua, Joshua told Refinery 29 website that Jody received so much hate from online trolls. He said, "Good God, you cannot believe the things people were leaving my wife on Instagram. She did it. I said yes, we're happy. That's it. That's all you need to know." Okay, Pacey, chill out. Joshua went on to explain that
he defended her. Wait a minute, did he or wasn't that what that was protection? So black men, you know, y'all on here on Dee Dee's channel aren't into that protection shit. You heard the shit from Chantel's room. She don't believe in that protection shit. But it looks like a billionaire is. I was a millionaire. I don't know. But he's into that protection shit. I wonder what the difference is. Let's keep it going.
That he never wanted to get married, and he never felt he was ready to be someone's husband. But after meeting Jody, it just felt like the right time, and she was the right person. Now hold up now. Was he just settling for our girl Jody since he was getting old and washed up? Or was he really in love with her? And what was it about Joshua that made Jody so...
For a minute, how much money did Joshua have made? Joshua Jackson. Net worth. 12 million. I don't know about you, but how many people do you know that's making $12 million or made $12 million? I mean, in the superstar, realm, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's a whole lot more than a lot of, anybody in the black manosphere. That's more than everybody. It might be more than everybody in it.
So crazy about him. Well, she told Forbes magazine that she loved how loved and supported she felt by him. She added, "I had never been with anyone who I thought was wanting to lift me up the way that I felt that he was lifting me up."
Oh man. Okay. So basically it sounds like to me just a guy being nice was better. So whose fault is that? Let's keep going.
Okay, girl. On June 11th, 2019, they celebrated Joshua's 41st birthday at a restaurant. 2 days later, Joshua was photographed tonguing down a mystery woman at an LAX parking lot.
Ooh, that's not good.
Oh, hell no. He need his ass beat. Joshua and Jody never addressed the situation, and they moved on from the scandal expeditiously. 2 months later, they were spotted outside a Beverly Hills courthouse to obtain a marriage license. When the photos made their way on the internet, Jody told People magazine there was a wave of people who were upset about her marriage.
Yeah. Gwen, can he pay the light bill? I think he can manage that. Yeah.
Marrying a white man. She added, "In America, interracial dating or marriage is not something that is as accepted. Certain people feel strongly against it in both communities. I felt it from the Black community." She wasn't going to let the bitter Bettys get in the way of marrying her king. Without signing a prenup, no prenup, they tied the knot in a private ceremony sometime in December 2019. Jody's baby bump was poking out by January 2020. She told LUK she always had a lot of resistance to becoming a mother, and she knew that if she ever had children, she wanted to have Black babies, so she could affirm them as children with the love that she felt she never received from the outside world. So what made her decide to get her swirl on and have a baby with a white man? Well, she told the magazine, "To decide not to have a child with somebody you love just because they're white was insane to me." Now, wait a minute now. Pump the brakes, child. Joshua never had plans to get married, and Jody never wanted to have children. But if she did, she wanted to have Black babies.
Well, they got married and they had children. That's that.
This sounds like two people who want two completely different things out of life. Sometimes love can override these differences, and it did for a bit for Joshua and Jody. But we already know how this story is going to end. She gave birth to their daughter in April 2020. Jody, who was born in England to Jamaican parents, told the Sunday Times she didn't want to raise her child in the States or in her native country. She was thinking that maybe they could move to Canada instead. But they didn't make any big moves following the birth of their daughter. Okay, we're going to freeze for a second.
Oh. Oh.
And let's run it back. They met in June 2018. She proposed 6 months later. They got married a year and a half after they first met, and their daughter was born 4 months after they tied the knot. Joshua and Jody were on the fast track from being complete strangers to husband and wife and parents. What could possibly go wrong? Shit, everything. Sometimes these quickie marriages work out. Other times couples realize they jumped into things too soon. Without properly getting to know each other and without a strong foundation, it's no surprise that they were facing some challenges behind the scenes. In September 2022, an online user noticed Joshua and Jody had unfollowed each other on Instagram. But since they continued speaking positively about each other in interviews and showed up to red carpet events together, no one really paid their social media antics any mind.
So get this. They're talking positive about each other, right? Remember Hallie's experience with her boyfriend? Their relationship is still ongoing. But you heard what he said about Hallie in a bogus rap tune. Let me keep it going.
And then in December 2022, a source told Radar Online that Joshua and Jody seemed like the perfect couple, but they were having little disputes that escalated into full-blown arguments. The insider added that they were very different people. Jody enjoyed going out and socializing with friends, while Joshua was more of an introvert. The insider also stated the dynamic between the couple had changed. Jody was also receiving harsher criticism from people who despised their interracial relationship. Joshua told Refinery 29 website that he couldn't believe the type of ignorant and ugly comments people would leave on Jody's Instagram account. He added that seeing that kind of hate was a real education for me as a white man. Class is in session. Joshua also started to notice some of Jody's weird kinks. Ooh, child, let me sit down for this. He told Variety magazine that Jody enjoyed watching his intimate scenes in the movie Fatal Attraction. He added, Jody kind of enjoys them, actually. It's a weird thing where she's like a voyeur, so that works. If that's your thing, excellent. Okay. On September 13th, 2023, they quietly separated. And then in October 2023, Jody filed for divorce after nearly 4 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable.
Wait a minute. So that's 4 years of marriage. Let's talk about this now. How long was Kevin Samuels married for? And multiple Dust Bandits. How long were they married for? Closet Misogynists. How long were they married for? What's the average? What's the average length of a marriage? Okay. That doesn't help. 20 years. That's good. Let's go back. Well, let me pause this out. That's probably why I'm having some trouble. Okay. So 4 years they were married together, which is almost double that of Kevin Samuels' 2 failed marriages, by the way. I think this man here makes a little bit more than $900 a month. I do believe so. Let me kick out some shout outs in the house. In the house, Tevin. In the house, LW Academy Hub for Women. In the house, Eat, Pray, Yoga. In the house, Gwen Johnson. In the house, Love Letters. Love Letters says this: marriage is only successful when 2 parties put in the work and choose each other daily to make it last forever. Oh, that was the jam. Okay. Anyway. All right. And then we have also in the house, Miss RV, Love Letters, Prism, Camo, and everybody up in the clouds, for crying out loud. So they were married for 4 years, had a lovely child, and it didn't work out. The guy said, get this, everybody. This is a man who had been dating a lot of Caucasian women before this. He's a Caucasian man, of course. And he didn't marry them. But he did marry this Black woman here. And they had children together. You can paint that as a loss. And you know, it kind of is in a way, just because they didn't stay together. But you know, it sure blows a hole in that they ain't checking for you theory. They ain't checking for you theory. That's why I was really, really cracking up when I saw the numbskulls out there, you know, ghetto goblins, misogynists, closet misogynists, bandits, trying to use this as a roast. I just don't, I don't get it. I mean, the thing is, I tell you what, let me get a little contrast jumping off for you, and you can be the judge. You can be the judge.
Tiger Woods, his former girlfriend is accusing him of sexual harassment.
Oh, I know that hurt. I know that hurt. I know that hurt. I know that hurt because you want to roast a black woman who got married to a Caucasian man, but all I had to do is say 2 words. Tiger Woods, wish he could. Tiger Woods. Oh, my voice is kicking in. It's sounding good, folks. If you guys want me to sing some more, click a 1 in the chat. 2 if, you want me to keep going with the, commentary. 1 in the chat if you want me to keep singing. 2 if you want me to keep, just move on. I think I should really, I really do believe I have a chance. I do believe. Thank you, K Brown. Thank you, K Brown. Thank you. Okay, let me see what other song I'll get going on here. Here we go.
Harassment filing a $30 million lawsuit. Eva Pilgrim here with the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. This is
So that's interesting. So Tiger is being sued for $30 million.
Messy breakup, to say the least. Tiger Woods' ex taking him to court, fighting an NDA, and now she's claiming sexual harassment.
Oh,
this morning, once private details of Tiger Woods' romantic life.
See, y'all had no problem with Tiger, did you? Y'all had no problems with Tiger. Y'all had no problems with Tiger. None. You loved you some Tiger, fellas. You red pills loved you some Tiger. Had no problem. None. Let's listen.
Now public, an attorney for Erica Herman, who dated Woods for nearly 6 years, writes in a new court
And they only dated for 6 years. Oh. Sharaya Smith in the house. Creative Solutions in the house. Gwen is here. Prism is here. LW Academy Hub for Women is here. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. But I think this Tiger Woods thing is a hard roast. It's a harder roast than you could ever make the Jody thing, to the point where I don't know why you idiots even brought this up. I don't even know why you even brought up Jody. Y'all are looking stupid right now. That must be the zombie coming out in you. Tiger can't even get married, and he's got to pay somebody money. Tiger Woods. I got a new hit, folks. Tiger Woods. Yeah.
Filing, Woods decided to pursue a sexual relationship with his employee, then, according to him, forced her to sign an NDA about it or else be fired from her job.
This case is yet another cautionary tale.
Wait a minute, I gotta go back on that
when
shit.
that boundary between
I gotta go back.
According to him, forced her. New court filing, Woods decided to pursue a sexual relationship with his employee, then, according to him, forced her to sign an NDA about it or else be fired from her job.
Let me play it one more time.
Dated Woods for nearly 6 years, writes in a new court filing, Woods decided to pursue a sexual relationship with his employee, then, according to him, forced her to sign an NDA about it or else be fired from her job.
This case
That sounds really messy. That sounds messy. That sounds real messy. It sounds like to me that maybe y'all shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have went into that Jody thing. You know what I mean? I think you should have left Jody alone. I don't know. I'm just getting that feeling that Jody should have just been left to, to handle her own business. Eat, Pray, Yoga breaks it down just like this. I think she was asked for what she for what she wanted. They moved fast and then decided to call it quits. Go big or go home. They have a beautiful child and they both can move on. Boom. Boom. And you know what's interesting about this too, Eat, Pray, Yoga? You know what I find out very interesting is that respectful communication they still have with each other, unlike this dude right here.
She gets the hang of things. I'm gonna let her do what she gotta do. But again, I got her back.
Oh,
Young
Jesus! DJ Torch is on a roll. Oh, yeah, your boy Jeezy. Your boy Jeezy was cheesy. He was real cheap. I mean, think about it. He didn't give, his woman. By the way, he divested too, just like, he divested too, just like Tiger. Okay? So let's see what he was saying.
Son, can't open your eyes. Can't you see? Huh?
Hey, Q! Hey, Q!
So let me fast forward this.
It was super vulnerable, right? So then after
You know about this. I'm not going to play much of it.
Who decided?
Okay. So y'all know the Jeezy thing. I don't need to keep going on with this. She had no clue. Papers, that dude drew up that shit and dumped her. I'm sure, you know something? To me, it's like, if I was like a woman of another culture, I would be like, I don't know if I want that kind. I mean, dude didn't even have enough respect for the woman of his child, right? To even at least notify her before drawing up papers and shit. That's, I'll keep it going. Why do you think Jeezy's like that? Well, let's let him tell you for himself.
For years, he's been known for his music, but rapper Jeezy says his life has been so much more than just about the music and success that he enjoys now. He's now speaking out about his life before all of that, his own mental health, something you do not hear very often.
Mental health. That word, the two words used together. I don't know. Let's see.
Pop community, and a lot more is in his brand new book. Here's what he told me when I sat down with him. Your first line is, I can't even front. I started out
as a thief.
As a thief.
Yeah.
He started off as a bandit. A thief is a bandit. That is that's how it is. Let's listen to him.
My grandmother would say, why are you telling everybody your business?
Right.
But why was it so important for you to be this real and this raw with people who picked up your book?
Well, because I felt in the beginning that I was dishonest, and I learned as I went
and
on.
He's dishonest. He's telling you through his own words
that life is about honesty and integrity. And I was very ambitious back then, so I thought that taking something was actually a success, but it was not. And my grandmother was the one that told me. She said, I can deal with anything except a liar and a thief. And that changed my mind about that whole.
A lot of our grandmothers had some of the similar sayings, where that just wasn't something they were willing to have somebody do in their life. When people see you, they think successful, like this guy is out front, he's out there, he's doing his thing, he's wearing a nice gold watch, rose gold at that.
Little something.
They see these things and they think, well, if
and
he
he's also classless. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it's legal or not, or whatever, what he did to his wife, which, we're not all a fan of, was disgusting. That's why just typical rapper.
Do it. Why can't all other black folks do it? Why
Right.
can't they rise? What do you say to them?
Well, that's why I wrote the book, because I think when people see me, they see the finished product. And this has been 40 years.
This book is fraudulent. He doesn't live by the book he wrote. That probably somebody else wrote for him. You know?
Of me going through everything I went through, and even a lot in the book is about how, and the reason why I named the book Adversity for Sale, rather than Let Me Sell You My Success, is because I want you to know how many times I've lost and continue to lose. And
boom. Thank you, Tevin. Thank you. His Latina baby mama put him on child support out of jealousy. Yep. And should have. Dude, if he ain't paying. I mean, the thing is this, you can only be put on child support if you're supposed to be on child support. But he's still a liar, so I struggle to understand how he's changed. That from the LW Academy Hub for Women. Angelina, what I have found out is a lot of men, we get in this delusion about saying we've changed when we haven't changed. It just sounds real good, even though no work has been put in, no effort, no emotional health exercises or nothing. Just going out there and, oh, well, I guess this is a good day to say that, things have changed.
And still keep the same enthusiasm. And I feel like that everyone, black, white, brown, whatever, needs to hear that even when you thought that I was on top of the world was on top of me. So even when I was at my highest, I was at my lowest. And I wanted people to understand.
Oh, yeah, I would call that you being on your lowest if you're, disrespecting the woman of your child. I would call that being kind of low. So let's go to the next section. Here we go. Let me make sure it's not up there. Yep. Here we go.
There's a new look of love we're seeing more and more these days. From entertainment to red carpets to the Supreme Court.
He's been the best husband, father, and friend I could ever imagine.
Take a look at all of these women. What do they have in common? Black women dating and in many cases marrying white men. 27-year-old Charity Lawson might just be the next high-profile black woman with a white husband. The star of ABC's The Bachelorette is looking for love on season 20 of the dating competition. Only 9 of her 25 suitors are black. She recently sent...
Dating shows to me are like, they're shows. So you can't really put a whole lot in it. But this is what I'm going to break down. Simple math. See, the misogynists, the bandits, the goblins, the creeps, the stalkers, the Jeremys out there, the Ernestos out there, the Kangs out there, are running propaganda on you. On black women, really women in general, but specifically black women, they're running propaganda because they're trying to tell you have no options. When really what they're saying is that when it comes to black men, you have no options. They're the ones, hey, y'all, fellas, y'all started it, not me. I kept my mouth shut. I knew what the stats said. I kept my mouth shut. Okay? But y'all had to open up your mouth and start spewing out that Kevin Samuels crap. Okay? Kevin Samuels, it's okay to cheat, Kevin Samuels. It's okay to have my rotation of 6 women, Kevin Samuels. Women need to obey, Kevin Samuels. That one. Submissive. You need to be submissive, Kevin Samuels. And you want to know something? if you force yourself to only date black men, you might just run into that situation. He might be right. The problem is this. I did some math. And for a black man, I didn't like the math. Because I love black women. But it's like this, fellas. It's like this. There are 20 million black men in the United States, give or take. There are 230 million Caucasian men. You can bullshit me with that crap about they're not checking for you, but how many out of 230 million do you think is not checking for black women? I'll tell you what. I'll take most of them out. All 200 million. 200 million gone. That still leaves 30 million. 30 million competitors. Let me repeat that. 30 million competitors, and that's just Caucasian men. Have not got to the other cultures who would be happy to have a black woman by their side. So this is where the investment comes in. Because quite honestly, it's quite, see, when you're just competing against your own, see, when black women are, if you are only comparing black men in your, skin color, yeah, the pickings get quite slim. And I'm not saying that you should date outside or make a strong effort to. You can do whatever you want to do. But you got to see that you got to see that you got some heavy duty options if need be. You just do. They are checking for you. I know this for a fact. And you want to know why or how I know this for a fact? It's because I have dated divestors. Yes. I have been in post-divestion relationships with divestors. So they do appreciate a good black man, right? They do. But hey, a good soul is a good soul. And let me tell you something like this. If you find yourself somebody with a good soul, okay, regardless of skin color, they're going to treat you good if they truly have a good soul. So the more souls, the merrier. And what I mean is, it doesn't mean that you're going to be dating a lot. It just means you will be vetting a lot. Don't have these goblins, these losers, ex-cons, who put hands and feet on their formers tell you anything. You know what I mean? Don't have them tell you anything. You do you. So let me keep this going.
Down with our Kennedy Rue to discuss finding love across the color line.
I will say, I probably did have a type, obviously when I was a lot younger, and I think that's just what your environment is, that's who you're around. But as I've gotten older, as I've gotten to know myself, it's I don't like to say that I have a type, because I connect with people for who they are, their personalities, what they exude as a person, their characteristics. That's what stands out to me.
Yeah.
And that doesn't determine based off of your race.
Charity is the fourth Black bachelorette.
Let me pause this for a minute. I have to say, it's really funny to me to see the behavior in the Black manosphere and the way these men behave. They're gutter mouths. They call women by the C word, the B word, the S word. And then they turn around and get mad because women don't want to date you anymore. You gave such, and it's your fault. It's your fault, you idiots. What self-respecting woman would want to date a gutter mouth idiot who wears a 30-year-old warm-up? Okay? Gets D's in school and has a gutter mouth and has the nerve to call himself a manosphere leader or something like that? Why? Why would anybody want to put up with that? There's really no reason. And it's almost all of them. Anton Daniels is a gutter mouth, in my opinion. Kevin Samuels with a gutter mouth, in my opinion. We got a bunch of small nobodies. They're gutter mouths. All these men know to do is talk shit and threaten people. And then they wonder why black women are going, you know something, I think I'm going to go elsewhere. Thank you very much, sir. You have a nice day. In the house, King Lucifer. In the house, Tevin. In the house, Love Letters. In the house, the LW Academy for Women. Kim Lee Moon is in the house. So, I mean, I hate to talk smack about you. It's weird. I know it sounds weird, me talking smack about you guys, talking smack about women who want to divest. But it's just it's just simple logic. You're disrespecting somebody, and I don't like that.
The three before her
you married me.
ended up choosing white men. But black women with white men isn't just the stuff of Hollywood. It's a trend that's growing in real life, too. In 1980, 3% of black women were married to white men. Today, that number is 4 times that, at 12%.
Black women really do love black men.
As a group, black women have been the slowest to dip their toes into the interracial dating.
Yep. And yep, black women have given us a chance. Now y'all mad because they want to expand their options. Think about it. For every black man, there's like 12 Caucasian men. And then let's throw in about 10 or 15. Let's throw in 15 of other options of different other nationalities. You guys didn't think that went through, did you? You fellas didn't think that went through. Black women got options. They just refuse to access those options. And you better hurry up and find you a wife, because if black women start doing that at higher percentage rates, you're shit out of luck. They won't have any number. Right now, black men are outnumbered by black women by about 2 million. But when you start, kicking in some algebra, some multiracial algebra, things look a little bit different.
Dating pool, one of the most racially loyal when it comes to relationships.
I don't care what nobody say. When a black man loves you.
But now they are diving in.
I think they have a problem when it comes to black women having interracial relationships.
I would argue that when black women are seen as deviating from upholding the black family structure, that is received differently than when black men do it.
Historically, interracial dating in the black community meant black men dating white women, black men twice as likely to have a spouse of another race. So much so that it became a cliche. But more and more Black women have been facing a dilemma. They're the most educated group in the country and also the most likely to be unpartnered at a staggering 62%. When it comes to their prospective partners, Black men are less likely than sisters to have completed high school or received a college degree. So Black women are 53% less likely to marry a man with advanced degrees.
I need to play that
but
over.
More and more Black.
I need to play this over. Listen close again. This is very important. Listen to what she's saying right now. This is very important. Very, very important.
Women have been facing a dilemma. They're the most educated group in the country and also the most likely to be unpartnered at a staggering 62%. When it comes to their
whose fault is that? Because Black women are just waiting to get the ring. I think I have the reason though. Let me show you what the reason is. Give me 1 second here. 1 second, everybody. Let me go to my stacks. Let me go to my stacks. Here we go. I'll show you why. And then I'll show you why. Okay. Let me show you why right about now. Let me close this out. I don't need that anymore. Okay. So I'm going to bring this up here. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to show you why Black women are the most single of every race in the United States. I'm going to show you right now. Okay. This is sexual activity. This is sexual activity. This is where Black women are on the sexual activity list. The lowest. The lowest. Where are the men? Where are the men on the list? The Black men, brothers, show me where you at. The most. That's one, literally 3 times as much. But once you want to call Black women 304s. See, maybe if you really did want a wife or a girlfriend or a loving partner, maybe, I don't know, maybe you should focus more on love. I don't know. That might help a little bit and not sex. I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, you don't have to do what I'm telling you to do. You're definitely not going to do it. You're not. So let me go back here. So, and then you turn around with your failure and belittle Black women for it. Letitia Lovejoy in the house. Kim Lee Moon in the house. Miss RV is in the house. Love Letters is in the house. The LW Academy Hub for Women is in the house. Alexander Brannan is in the house. Let me keep it going.
Their prospective partners, Black men are less likely than sisters to have completed high school or received a college degree. So Black women are 53% less likely to marry a man with advanced degrees.
Okay.
The most educated group in the country and also the most likely to be unpartnered.
Let's go.
Historically, interracial dating in the Black community meant
I need
Black
to pause
men.
this for a minute because it's important. Because I found the mismatch, I found the problem, but I do not have a solution for you. All right, I dropped the link just in case anybody would like to come up. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It ain't no job. Like and subscribe. We got to get the likes up. We got to get the subscribes up. Here we go. I would like to thank everyone and appreciate everything and everyone who has made this channel what it is today. I'm not kidding. I mean that. So let's keep it going.
And dating white women, black men twice as likely to.
Oh, did you know that Sidney Poitier looks a lot like my father did? Sidney, yep.
Men dating white women, black men twice as likely to have a spouse of another race. So much so that it became a cliche.
Oh, yeah. Y'all had no problem with Jeezy. Nope. No problem with Jeezy dating. No problem with Jeezy, doing that, divesting stuff. No problem with him. You freaking hypocrites. Freaking hypocrites.
A cliche, but more and more black women have been facing a dilemma. They're the most educated group in the country and also the most likely to be unpartnered at a staggering 62%. When it comes to their prospective partners, black men are less likely than sisters to have completed high school or received a college degree.
Holy moly. See, there is the problem, folks. That's a problem. That's not a black woman's problem. That's a black man's problem.
So black women are 53% less likely to marry a man with advanced degrees. And what?
Man. Wasn't an angry man talking about, people getting into STEM? He needs to start talking to his old dudes about that. Because obviously we're not doing it. If we were, there would not be a problem.
1 out of every 6 black men between 25 and 54 have disappeared from daily life. Incarceration and
They divested to men. When you get incarcerated, your options really go down as a man. They go way down, don't they? I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I've never been there, thank God. But
I've never been there either. A lot of prisoners are there for the rest of their life.
Yeah. But it's funny, they get out of jail and they start talking smack about women again, even though they've shown that they are the problem. That's the weird thing.
early deaths, the main drivers behind their absence, leading many black women to expand their horizons.
Yeah, let me play that
and
again.
1 out of every 6 black men between 25 and 54 have disappeared from daily life. Incarceration and early deaths, the main drivers behind their absence, leading many black women to expand their horizons.
Would you date a bus driver?
She's a lawyer. Why would she?
If he owns it.
If she don't want to. If she don't want to date the bus driver, she don't have to. Because if she do, she gonna be dating down.
Yeah. But for some reason, you know, black women are supposed to do that. They're supposed to date down.
If you're then
But
looking
see,
for a
that's
partner
sad
who
because
you
we
see-
our grandmoms and aunties, they've been doing that for generations.
Absolutely. Unfortunately.
you were including education.
Torch. My uncle, I
Um,
had an older uncle, and he was in a long-term relationship for like 40-something years. They didn't even get married.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
See?
That was common back then too. It still is common today.
Unfortunately.
Expand their horizons.
See, I can tell you in the white community, that's embarrassing to be married that long without being, to be around somebody that long and not being married. So that's why they don't.
But they was married but they weren't married to each other.
Oh.
They both were divorced.
Okay, they were married before, but they're not married to each other.
Exactly.
For how many years?
40-something. My
Yeah.
mama told me about that a long time ago. But this particular uncle been dead for 11 years.
Yeah, Gwen Johnson broke it down like this. There is no such thing as dating within your class in the black community. Boom. Everybody, all other cultures do it, but us.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date him?
Let me make it clear. This question is coming from a woman who picked a pookie who cheated on her, allegedly, and put hands and feet on her, allegedly.
Owns the bus if he owns it.
So if you're then looking for a partner who you see as your equal and you're including...
She gets mad because the woman wants to do better than she did. That's what I think it is. Yeah, I think...
Typical jealousy is jealousy.
Yeah. I agree.
Education.
But yeah, I think about it.
and income
Been
level
around
in
a
order
long
to...
time too. She was on TV shows before I was even born.
I know, huh? And the weird thing is that you would think she would have learned or something, but she didn't.
And she's settling down so bad now. She is willing to accept her potential future husband, male, whatever, to cheat on her.
She's gonna get herself another Ernesto. That's what she's gonna get.
Polygamy.
She's gonna get herself another Ernesto. That's what she's looking for. Soraya breaks it down like this: the Black community does not span that much of the economic scale when it comes to class. We are primarily in the same working class, making 30 and 50 grand a year and less. Yep.
You're quote unquote equal, then it makes logical sense. You might also be in spaces and environments that are predominantly white.
For many Black women, it isn't about lack or problems with Black men, but about expanding options.
I don't think it's a Black man, white man. I think just people overall need to treat people how they want to be treated.
All love themselves. Interracial marriage has only been legal for 55 years. A Black woman and her white husband breaking that barrier.
I'm gonna build you a house right here. Our house.
The 2016 film Loving depicted the story of Mildred and Richard Loving.
In here? What you doing in bed with that woman?
In 1958, the couple was sentenced to a year in prison for marrying each other. They appealed their conviction all the way to the Supreme Court.
You realize this case could alter the Constitution of the United States.
And in June 1967, the court issued a unanimous decision overturning their convictions and making interracial marriage legal. But the history of Black women and white men hasn't always been so loving.
I made a choice, Mama.
Okay, let me pause it right there. It goes into some slavery stuff, and I ain't for it. But anyway, so then the next thing after I, argued with hobgoblins and Jeremy's, boosters, stalkers, after I argued with them, they circled back around to me on this, where they're not checking for Black women. If they are, okay, you made your point towards, okay, but they're not getting high quality Black men though. They're not getting high quality white men. They're not getting high quality white men. What's going on here? So since they pulled out, what I'm going to call, the Jody card, right? I pulled out the George Lucas card like this.
So I remember
yes, I pulled out the George Lucas card.
I've watched the Oscars since I was a kid. And literally, I got up off of my chair and I went closer to the TV to say, is that Melody with George Lucas? What is that? There was a shot of you in the audience, and you were laughing, and I went, "Oh my God, I think they're together." When did this happen? When did that happen?
Well,
About 5 years ago.
Yeah.
About 5 years
I don't know about you, but he looks pretty fucking happy to me. He looks pretty damn happy. The billionaire and icon looks pretty happy to me.
DJ Torch, do you know when white women date black men, white women and other races of women talk down on their men the same way black men talk down on black women? And that is way, way too common too.
Yep. That's true.
It's funny because those same white men, white women, and non-black men say I only want black dick, but then when they get it, excuse my French, they fuck around and have the same consequences as black women get of being single mothers. Those women are turning into single mothers in high numbers.
Right. Now here's the funny part, y'all. I know what's going to happen next. The hobgoblins, the bigots, the misogynists, and the Ernestos and Kangs and Jeremys and stalkers and creeps and bandits, they're going to say, well, she's probably a gold digger. Well, she's been digging for her own gold for a very long time. She's a CEO and part owner. She's a CEO of business, multiple high-end Fortune 500 businesses, okay? And part owner of the Denver Broncos. Now, I know the Broncos aren't doing that great right now, but that didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay,
We met at a conference.
Okay, it was a business conference.
That, how else would a financial person and a movie person ever be in the same place at the same time?
Yes. Why do you think this works?
I think it works because we are extraordinarily open-minded people, and we are open to what the universe brings us. And I think that we didn't have preconceived ideas about what a partner should be.
Mm-hmm.
And so we allowed ourselves to discover something that was unexpected.
I did this on purpose to make you fools out there, you Neanderthal thinking, bigotry talking points, prison ideology, fellas out there who are dissing Jody know that there's a lot going on that you don't know, and you need to just mind your own business. Let me play a little bit more. Beat bang. I like that.
You always let the smartest one give the speech. So I'm turning it over to my wife.
We're taking a quick breather from our messy red flag series to bring you a refreshing story about love, sweet love. George Lucas is the man behind a few of the most iconic film franchises, such as Star Wars and Indiana Jones. His films changed the landscape of the entertainment industry with their special effects and huge productions. In the process, his companies amassed a fortune worth more than an estimated $6 billion. Yes, we said $6 billion. Despite his wealth, you won't see George making it rain at a local hotspot or showing off his car collection on TikTok. He's
$6 billion.
He
one of the
just
most
got
private
divorced,
and
so-
reclusive.
What?
Didn't he just get divorced?
I don't know.
Him and
He's
his
been
wife
divorced
was married
before,
for
but
decades,
he married.
from what I remember.
He married Melody. Let me keep it
Is
going.
she black?
She's black. She's black.
Celebrities, especially concerning his love life. But here at RRG, we can find out anything about anyone. And we were able to uncover some information about his past relationship, as well as the love story between him and his current wife, the smart, beautiful, and successful financial businesswoman, Melody Hobson. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I dive deep into other people's business, I get hungry. And our concession stand over at rrgsnacks.com hits the spot with items
Get that RRG. Uh-oh, that looks good right there. Okay.
like beef and bacon jerky, strawberry cheesecake popcorn, and butter toffee peanuts. As always, the love story about this power couple wouldn't be complete without a trip down memory lane. George met a woman named Marcia back in 1967 when they both served as apprentice editors on the film Journey to the Pacific. They got married in 1969. They settled in Marin County, California, and rented a house for $120 a month. George's fascination with children led him to create Star Wars, and Marcia worked as an editor on the film, which later landed her an Oscar win in 1978. As the years passed by and their films became more and more successful, they earned more money. According to The Guardian, George secured tight merchandising deals for Star Wars, and those deals have earned him 4 times the amount he makes as a writer and producer. He invested his money into the creation of Skywalker Ranch, a sound design, mixing, and audio post-production facility in Northern California that sits on close to 5,000 acres of land. Marcia was tasked with monitoring their new development, but she was also growing tired of George's hustle mentality and how he was all work, no play. She wanted to take trips to Europe while he wanted to build an empire. He told Rolling Stone, "It's been very hard on Marcia living with somebody who was constantly in agony, uptight and worried, off in Never Never Land." In 1981, they adopted their daughter Amanda. As he sunk deeper into the life of a workaholic, Marcia was getting her back blown out by another man.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, let's keep it going.
Those women do it fast. Those women get away with that faster than black women do.
Man.
Because those women are seen as more desirable. But to black men, they do. and some other people who are colorists. Colorist affects all races.
True.
Colorism is so bad in other countries, the darker skinned Indians aren't even recognized. I mean, they are misrepresented in media in those countries.
True.
In 1983, George announced he was taking a 2-year break to focus on his family. A week later, after 14 years of marriage, Marcia filed for divorce during the production of Return of the Jedi. He had to pay her an estimated settlement of $50 million. I
don't know why, because she the one that
$50 million. Sources report that George was granted full custody of their daughter, who was 2 years old at the time. He told the New York Times, "For the first time, my daughter has a priority higher than my work." He eventually moved on and started dating singer Linda Ronstadt. They even got engaged, but things didn't work out. So worried about attracting women who were only interested in his money, George stayed single for many years. He still had the desire to grow his family, so he adopted 2 more children on his own, a daughter who was born in 1988 and a son that was born in 1993. When speaking about being a single father of 3, he told The Guardian, "I love them much more than I love making movies." Meanwhile, Melody, the youngest of 6 children, was raised by a single mother in Chicago. During a chat with the Thrive Global podcast, Melody said her mom worked really hard and she instilled the same work ethic in her and her siblings. They weren't even allowed to sleep past 6 a.m., even during summer vacation. But despite her mom's drive and dedication to making a better life for them, they had difficulty making ends meet. Because of that, on several occasions, their phone got disconnected, their lights were shut off, and they got evicted. Sometimes they were forced to live in abandoned...
Don't forget to get the likes up. Don't forget to get the likes up. The likes, keep the lights on. The like, keep the lights on. Let's keep it going.
Apartments. The circumstances of Melody's childhood had a profound effect on her mentality. She said, I still work today as if I need the meal at the end of the day, and I put all of myself into my effort on a daily basis because I don't know how to work any other way. She thrived at school and attended Princeton University, where she met John W. Rogers Jr., who's the founder of Ariel Investment, one of the largest African-American-owned assets management firms in the country. After graduating, she joined his company and climbed the ranks to become the firm's president and managed billions of dollars worth of assets. She now sits on several high-powered corporate boards, including J.P. Morgan Chase and Starbucks, where she also serves as their vice chair.
Wow.
Through all of her hard work, she became a millionaire and now teaches financial literacy to others. She said, I'm trying to make the stock market a subject of dinner table conversation in the Black community.
Boom. See, she's trying to build the Black community.
I'm not mad at her about that. I'm actually excited for that. Because I'm trying to start a toy line. I came up with that idea in my head. I came up with that idea in 2012 when I was just 20. I had wrote several books since then.
As the years passed by, she became obsessed with work and used her financial and emotional intelligence to move effortlessly among different industries. In 2005, she traveled to Aspen for a business conference, and that's where she first met George. She told Bloomberg website that they chatted about the movie business and exchanged information. 1 year later, George reached out and told her he was headed to Chicago to give a speech, and he wanted to know if she would be in town. Melody told him, I'd love to have dinner. From there, they embarked on a long-distance romance since Melody lived in Illinois and George was based in California, but they still managed to see each other every weekend. As Melody made connections in the political...
That's not long distance. If you're seeing somebody every weekend, that's not that long distance. But they were ballers like that. Ballers can do stuff like that.
World and made hefty donations to the Obama campaign, her involvement brought George out of his shell. Before Melody, he rarely left the editing room to participate in the outside world. But as her plus one, he was hobnobbing at several White House events. Some of her friends, like the Reverend Al Sharpton, were puzzled by their relationship. But after going to lunch with George and Melody, Al said he realized that they were the perfect match because they shared the same drive and passion. In December 2012, 7 years after they first met, just kidding, George proposed and she said yes. Not only was he about to have a new wife, but he also sold his Lucasfilm production company to Disney for $4 billion. He told Business Insider he was looking forward to retirement and the new chapter of his life would be committed to devoting more time and resources to philanthropy.
Yeah, $4 billion.
I would have thought that's for at least 25 billion or higher.
Man, super baller. Men make time for and will go the distance for what they're interested in. Boom. Well said, Miss RV. Well, I mean, I don't really need to play any more of that one because I think that I think the anti-divestors get my point, where high-end human beings of other cultures and races are checking.
But why don't people like Cher they talk about this? Like, why don't she get that something for her subscribers to? Courtney, Michelle, and Cher they should have been talking about stuff like this on their channel.
Yep.
But no, they like put that silly ass narrative. The black they been mammying for the Black manosphere for so long. They don't realize what's going on. They don't realize who the problem really is. Cause even black men in the industry, they going bankrupt because they owe a lot of those guys are paying child support to so many women, like Evander Holyfield.
Right.
Those are a lot of the celebrities people in my age group looked up to.
Yeah, and the funny thing about Evander Holyfield is he has he went broke. We went over that yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. And Rick Ross bought his house for a bargain.
I know. Damn, I wish I would have had that kind of money. I would have bought the house. Anyway, let me break it down like this.
So the girl math trend was wholesome and harmless, talking about handbags and shoes, shopping, just really having fun, just us ladies chatting away. But as always, men started chiming in with their unsolicited opinions. And why they do that? Because boy math, those ladies are dragging those men. And I'm going to share some of my favorite tweets with y'all right now. Boy math is when you want to break up, but instead of just breaking up, you start being insufferable and hope she breaks up with you. Boy math is thinking marriage has more serious consequences than having a child with someone. Boy math is wanting a traditional woman who pays bills. Men really compare their lives and experiences with dating to millionaires, all while having no millions. Boy math. Boy math is giving your baby mom $107 a month in child support and thinking it funded her trip to Aruba. And don't forget this little nugget right here. Boy math is raising 3 pit bulls instead of 1 child. Boy math is them wanting a prenup and they make $45K. And also this one, boy math is getting your heart broken once in grade school, then seeking revenge on every girl you date afterwards. Boy math is wanting 0 kids, but having 0 condoms on hand. Now, all these men had to do was mind their business and stay out of women's business. I don't know why every time women are in a group talking about something, they always feel like, you know what, and I would also like to say, see, that's what y'all get.
You know, we have a lot of videos about what women should do to find a husband, but we really should be looking at what men should be doing to find a wife. Now, if you're a single man,
boom, nothing wrong with that, but let's see what this guy
Man,
says.
they taught a lot of these guys are going gay as their last resort.
What?
A lot of guys are going gay due to their last resort. They're not attracted to those guys. They just want a kink. They just want to get their kink off.
Yeah.
about staying single and believing you're the prize, you're going to end up old and lonely.
So he was trying to make it seem like he was coming from a good place, but at the end, you see, he tried to shame spaces like this that's keeping men aware. And that's one thing that I have a biggest issue with when we have brothers like this. They try and shame other black men for understanding the risk with certain situations.
All he's doing is telling the pastor here was only breaking it down how traditional men move. This guy right here who tries to play this, Buster Poindexter or whatever he wants to call it. He's being, I guarantee you, I don't know why. I just think he has a record. Anyway, let me keep going.
In particular, the risk that comes with being married.
So I'm not with nobody, cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody.
When I started my channel, it was very small. And I was putting out some amazing content. I was hitting y'all over the head.
Yeah, I know you
find a wife. Now, why? On average, when you aggregate the data, married men are happier, healthier, and wealthier. Now, I'm not saying if you're single that you're less than a married man. That's ridiculous. I'm simply saying that marriage really helps men.
I like that prison below medium man. Yeah, he's exactly that.
I mean, I'm not stressed out, but I'm not in a relationship right now. But I'm still mingling. I still like to mingle, but I mean, it's drama free for me right now. Because I see so many guys in a relationship.
You're not ugly, you're just not white. You see, race is an important factor in dating and it's often overlooked. If you're not a white man, you have to put in a little bit more effort into your appearance and you're overall not going to see the same success that an equally attractive white man would. That's because the world revolves around Eurocentric beauty standards and there's a hierarchy when it comes to race and dating. So if you're not a white man, more than likely you'll have something called niche appeal, meaning that you only appeal to certain types of women who are into your certain race due to their upbringing, due to their net worth, due to their influence in media, and a lot of other reasons. But though everybody has preferences, you'll start to realize the more you improve all areas of your life, you'll start to become everybody's exception. Trust me, I've heard it a million times. I don't normally like black men, but you're different.
Black men get the white women that other white men generally do not want. You don't get the top of the line white women. You don't. You get leftovers. Look at most of our celebrities. They did not marry women who came from the richest white families. Black money and white money don't behave the same. New black money will jump on any poor white girl and make her a billionaire, Tiger Woods. Rich white money doesn't operate that way, you see.
I want to ask you something, Dr. Umar. For you, have you ever seen an interracial relationship that was acceptable to you?
No interracial relationship is acceptable because we have too many black women who are unmarried. Black women are the largest population on the planet Earth. If you can't find one in America, get it from Africa. If you can't get it from Africa, go to the Caribbean, go to Canada, go to Europe. Why would a black man need to copulate, build a family with anything other than a black woman when you have so many black women available? It is an exercise in self-hatred. There's no way to get around it.
Oh, he's calling you all you hypocrites. He's calling you self-haters. He's calling you self-haters.
I mean, there are certain things I like about Umar and certain things I don't like about Umar. Umar, he got children too. He had children outside of marriage too.
Yeah.
I don't have kids
Over
yet,
the weekend, Terrell Owens had everyone talking after having a conversation about dating outside of his race while on Instagram Live with Chad Ochocinco.
Now, this is quick because
we
y'all
did talk
know
about
we
this
went
one
over
last night.
You know, we went over Terrell a couple nights ago. And the thing is this. No one has a problem at all with his practice of dating outside. I mean, for years, dating outside. No problem with that. Let's listen closely, though.
Would say he didn't have the best experience with black women growing up, which caused
He
him to
obviously
venture
had
outside
experience
his
with black
race
women to
to
make one
explore
a baby
other
mama.
My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls.
You know why his dating experience with black women wasn't so good?
Because I know why.
He was certifiably crazy.
Because he almost dated his sister that stayed right across the
Yeah,
street.
that probably didn't help either. But he said he had to get mental health. There's your problem. These guys that aren't accountable for their own emotions, relationships, and problems. That's the problem.
Thank God my mama moved to Birmingham because I've stayed in Mississippi. I probably would have been in that situation too.
You know?
I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny.
It had nothing to do with your looks. It had to do with your mind, bro.
He fumbled the black woman. He made a baby mama.
Yeah. He had no problem making baby mamas.
He the one that fumbled that fine black woman he had.
I'll tell you what else he had a problem with.
How do you feel about Monique? Do you get along with her?
I mean, we've had our moments where I've always been cordial. It wasn't until
we all know he was messing around.
I voluntarily
That's what a lot of most celebrities do.
Willingly, from 6,000 to 8 to 10 to 12 on my own. She found out that I was paying her 20.
So he has a problem with child support. Let's see what she has to say.
But see, those other women use child support for the full advantage.
When we first started dating and after Tariq was born, I never took Terrell to court, ever. I never went to seek child support from him legally.
She was like she mixed, but
we both agreed on an amount and he would pay it. And he did that for up until the last 6 years.
Right, because the 6 wasn't enough, the 8 wasn't enough, the 10 wasn't enough.
It was never 6, 8, 10. You're getting
and her name
me
Monique too.
confused with probably all the rest of the child support you're paying out for.
Well,
I don't know no white girl named Monique, and she mixed with something.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all don't have any problem with him. You don't have any problem with Terrell. Not one bit. Not a problem with Terrell one bit. Let's play a little bit more.
Listen, it's not about the math, but
it is about the math.
Can you afford to pay all this?
Not at this moment. No, I can't.
Because you're not with an NFL team right now.
He took me to court
Because
and
they
he
weren't gonna
wasted
agree.
child support money, his money on lawyers.
Now they say
That
it's
was
not the field, but if I would have
$100,000
gone and told them, like, yeah, I need to go down, it wasn't going to happen.
Did you try?
It wasn't going to happen.
Did you try?
It wasn't going to
How
happen.
do you know it wasn't going to happen?
Okay. The only time any of you really have picked up the phone is because of money.
That's not true, Terrell.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Is she a fine black woman?
Yeah, she is fine. Let me break something down here. He's like, the only time you pick up the phone is for money. But dude, you're the one who dumped her. Or she dumped you, but it's really you dumped her because you probably did something to make her leave. So
She a baby mama, that's
moving
why.
on. The point of getting a divorce is to move on. So I don't even know if she was married to him yet. The point of the thing is this. She's not supposed to be calling you to see how you're doing. That's supposed to be your present relationship doing that. See, these dudes, they think they own the women for the remainder of the child's life. That's what it is.
Oh, that's not true.
All right. Do you live a high life?
High life meaning?
I mean, do you have 7 cars and a Lamborghini, Ferraris, Mercedes? Do you live in multiple houses?
I did, and those were investment properties. That was at the height of my career when I was making a lot of money. The cars that I had.
He wasted his money. That's what he's telling you. Anytime you hear somebody say
blew it out,
he
blew it out some dumb ass shit. That's why.
Yeah.
A lot of young people of all age groups and races do that.
Yeah.
Especially when they start getting money they never made before.
She's struggling to make ends meet, especially since Terrell is 4 months and $20,000 behind in child support. Take a look.
If Terrell Owens doesn't want to visit, doesn't want to communicate, at least he could pay child support. Melanie's agreed to accept $5,000 a month from a guy who's making $666,000 a month. Not a year, $600,000 a month. Melanie's had to take legal action. He doesn't talk to her or with Dasha. The only communication she gets is a check.
Well, so how is this? I mean, if a black woman has options, right? And, not only with other black men, but other cultures and other men of different races, why would she want to put up with this kind of shit? See, when black men, when we do shit like this, when we get janky, with our money and don't handle our responsibilities, we lower our own value. That's what we do.
Check doesn't come, she reaches out, gets no response, we file a lawsuit, and it's getting into a silly circle because he's not only got to pay her, he ends up having to pay our legal fees, pay his own lawyers, and it's just money that could all go to the child.
Crystal said she broke. Hell yeah.
Well, this is the first time Melanie and Kimber are meeting in person, so y'all have not met each other before.
In person, right?
Okay, you've talked on the phone, but you haven't met. And Melanie's attorney, Randy Kessler, is also here. Randy, thanks for being here today.
Let me pause that.
Oh, his baby mom name was Melody, but Melody is still mixed. But she talk like a biracial that grew up in the white community and looked like one too.
All right. Well, anyway, like to kick some shout outs. Prism